Everybody's having a great day. Today we are going to talk about how I choose the titles for my papers, and this has evolved over time, obviously, but basically the answer is very quick. The title of my paper is the title of the discussion section, because the title of the discussion section is the theoretical contribution of the paper. Now, sometimes I have added other things to the title, have had different titles. Sometimes it's about empirics, sometimes it's about the field setting, sometimes it's about the challenge of the paper, and very early in my career I used to add this sort of like cute titles. Now I only do that with co-authors. So yeah, I don't really like that, but this is probably my reaction to like some of the early work that I did, and some of the early people that I work with had this like really like sort of like cute, fun idea of research, and I obviously think research should be fun, but I think it should be, for me, I like to write rigorous, and so I think when I'm writing cute titles that I'm actually doing a disservice to my participants and the time and insights that they gave to me. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go through some of the papers that I published, and then through some of the papers that I'm working on, and we're going to look at the titles and how this works. Okay, but again, remember, if the quick answer to this question is the title of your paper should be the title of the discussion section, because the title of the discussion section is your theoretical contribution. Okay, so there we go. My favorite title for a paper is my first MISQ piece published in 2013, and the title of the discussion of that paper is A Dramaturgical Model of the Production of Performance Data. That's what the paper provides. That's what the paper does. That's the title of the paper. Okay. My latest MIS quarterly paper from 2018 also has the title. The key title is the title of the discussion: Transfiguration Work and the System of Transfiguration. In this one, I wanted to give it a subtitle because I just think the title, so Transfiguration Work and System of Transfiguration, don't really tell the reader what the paper is about, so it becomes like a little bit obscure. So I wanted to add a subtitle, which is How Employees Represent and Misrepresent Their Work. Okay, so this is the empirics. Okay, so what's the data? The data is about how employees present and misrepresent their work. Okay, why did I do that? Because the title of the discussion is not clear enough. The latest paper that I published, 2021, is the title of the discussion is An Extended Model of Supply-Side Diffusion. This has, it's not really like a cute sort of like pre-title, but it's too cute for me. So learning from unexpected technological success. Yeah, I mean, sounds cool. I like it. It's the title of the paper. But if I was writing this paper entirely on my own, I would probably have named it An Extended Model of Supply-Side Diffusion of Information Technologies, because that's what the paper does, and you should read it. It's a cool paper, as all papers are. Okay, now another paper that has a double-barrel title, co-authored, it's my org science piece, co-authored with Nikita Neuenbuhr, Middle Managers and Corruptive Routine Translation, the Social Production of Deceptive Performance. So the paper is about corruptive, this is what's in the result section, corruptive routine translation, and the social production of deceptive performance is the discussion section. Okay. This links to not to the empirics but to the field setting. So I was studying, or we were studying middle managers. Then there's just a final paper that I want to talk about here with a double barrel title is it was the original version of the Transfiguration paper, which was submitted to a special issue on social materiality. So at the time, this was about IT adoption, so it was a dramaturgical model of IT adoption. But then because it was for a special issue on social materiality, I felt that I needed social materiality in the title, so that's what I did. Social materiality of IT surveillance, okay? So basically, as you see, I always have the discussion section is in the title. It's the key part of the paper title, and if I can, if it's clear enough, it will be, that'll be it. That'll be the paper title. Okay. Now, papers that I'm working on now and have been submitted, so they're either have been rejected and I'm reworking them, or they're revise and resubmit decisions. Okay. So this one here, late stage revise and resubmit, fingers crossed, is about the something that I call the self-development cycle, and it is in volunteer organizations. So this is the title of the discussion section, Leaving the Self-Development Cycle in Volunteer Organizations. That's the title of the paper. Again, that's my favorite way. That I think it's, a reader will pick the paper because they are interested in learning about this. Okay, that's what they want to find out about. Okay, so they don't want. If I just have leadership in volunteer organizations or leading volunteers, that's not what the paper is about. It is on that broad category, but there are many papers about that. There are papers about this, about self-development. This is not what this paper is about. Okay, so yeah, so again, title of the discussion section. Here, title of the discussion section, but then I just this title here is too long, so I said okay. So the empirical phenomenon I'm looking at is something I called analysis work. And this is just for the paper to have a shorter title. Sometimes you need it, but again, this is the title of the discussion section. And this is a literature review. So this is again what's in the discussion section, but I have just a double barrel literature review just to tell readers, okay, this is not a theory piece, this is not an empirical piece, it's a literature review. Okay, so hope this was useful, that these were some nice examples for you to use. Again, the short answer to the question, what should be the title of my paper, especially if it's an empirical paper, it should be the same title of your discussion section, and your discussion section should be the theoretical contribution of the paper. That ensures that people looking for what you provide for your theoretical contribution is in the title of the paper, and they can easily find it. And if you have a novel theoretical contribution, probably that title will be interesting, right? So if you're doing research on production of performance data and you read about the dramaturgical model there, well, then this is why you read the paper for. Okay, so hopefully it was helpful. If you have other practices that have worked for you, let me know, and I'll share them on a future video or on Twitter. Thanks to Ana Quinoto for suggesting